How do photographers get golden sunset wedding after wedding after wedding? Well, let me share with you how I do it and how I manage to get beautiful light for my couple shoots at weddings. Not only that, later on in the video, I'm going to actually share with you how you can use the timeline to get more bookings or even make more money. So stick around for that. And even later, I will announce the winner of my Orange and Teal preset pack, which the competition was in my previous video. If you haven't seen the previous video, check it out here. I asked you guys to help me get 50 likes on the previous video. We managed to do that, and because of that, I'm going to keep my promise and give away that Orange and Teal pack, but I will announce the winner later in this video. My name is Kobus Tollig. Welcome to another video. If it's your first time, awesome. Please click on the subscribe button. If you've been here before and you haven't subscribed yet, please do so as well. Click on the subscribe button, give the video a like, leave a comment down below. Let me know what you would like to learn from me, or what you would like to know, or shoot me a DM. And by the way, talking about DM, guys, on my Instagram account, if you didn't know it, every single Thursday I give a live Q&A free of charge on my Instagram account. It's 12 o'clock South African time, a live Q&A for you to ask me questions, and I'll answer to the best of my ability. So I hope I'll see you next Thursday on my Instagram account. Let's start off with the timeline. So for me, it's very important to help the couple with the timeline, because obviously they have no clue where to start. And yes, their wedding planner will also help them with the timeline, and that's perfectly fine, and we'll get to that just now. But where I normally start with my timeline is at sunset. So whatever time is sunset, and today we're going to use the example of 7 o'clock. So just after the couple have booked me and I've sent them through a bunch of information, I ask them to schedule a meeting with me through Skype, Zoom, or maybe in person on the engagement shoot day. This meeting is normally around about an hour, depending on the amount of questions. And this is for your typical day. Let's say it's not a morning wedding. It's not a wedding with a bunch of different ceremonies and stuff. It's just a normal wedding day going into the evening. I make sure to tell the couple that these are only suggestions and they can do whatever they want. But I have found that this type of schedule works great. The one thing you do need to take into account is the sunset times. I'm going to use 7 o'clock today just as an example for you guys. But the sunset can change like anything to a whole hour within a month or two, depending on where you stay. For example, in December in the Western Cape in South Africa, the sun sets at 8 o'clock, but maybe in the winter it sets around about 6 o'clock or 5:30. In the UK, for example, it might set only 10 o'clock. So it's really important that when you take this timeline that you guys adjust it for the season and the day. So I use a website, I'll link it down below, for South Africa specifically, where I look at the different sunset times, and I find that it is actually quite accurate. I'm sure you can use maybe something like AccuWeather as well. So working down from sunset, and on this we work on a 7 o'clock sunset. I would work it backwards, and I'll tell the couple, all right, the best time for the couple shoot would be from 6 until 7, a whole hour. And within that hour, I also include the bridal party. If, however, it's quite a big bridal party, if I talk big, I'm talking about maybe 8 or 10 people, I would add a bit extra time and we'll go maybe an hour and 10 minutes, but never more than that. And then from there, I would work back another hour. Now that hour is for canapé hours. I love giving my couples a canapé hour with their guests. So straight after ceremony, they go into an hour canapés with their friends. They enjoy a drink, they enjoy some food and their friends and family. And that's also where the whole congratulations happen, right after the confetti. And it's great to get some moments of people just congratulating the bride and groom, and they can just enjoy and relax with their friends and family. Now that said, I also do the family photos. So I do take them away for about 15 minutes for family portraits during that hour session. And then we'll work back another hour, which will then be the start of the ceremony. Now, if we go back, say from 7 o'clock backwards, it's 6 o'clock starting. Backwards from that is 5 o'clock. So typically the ceremony would start at 4 o'clock. Now, I always tell a couple, give a whole hour for a ceremony. And the reason for that is that sometimes the bride is late due to traffic, maybe due to makeup, maybe due to the photographer, or maybe she was very emotional and had to sort of touch up the makeup or whatever, and she's late, number one. Or maybe the pastor or preacher or whoever, the minister, preaches too long or longer than was expected, and that might make it later. And also signing at the register, and then confetti is everything I include within that hour. If it happens that we finish at 45 minutes or after 45 minutes, it's a bonus, because then the couple can spend an hour and 15 minutes with their guests. So you don't lose. Rather have slightly more time and go earlier to the canapes than starting too late. So from the ceremony time, let's say in this case now the ceremony is 4 o'clock, I would work back 2 hours for the bridal prep. So 4 o'clock, it means I'll start with the bride at 2, and another hour back I will start with the groom at 1 o'clock then. So from 1 till 2, the groom and his men, and from 2 till 4, the bride. Now it sounds like a lot of time, but let me explain. 2 hours with the bride for me means the bride is relaxed. 1 hour with the bride only means I have to tell the bride, come on, let's go, time. And sometimes makeup runs late. Sometimes, like I said, there's emotions. Sometimes situation for the photographer, it's small or maybe dark, so you have to work slower. Sometimes a bridesmaid is late. Sometimes a mom is late. Who knows what's going to happen? I'm just mentioning stuff that might happen. And that puts pressure on the bride. And for me, it's all about the bride enjoying her day. And I don't want to get there only having an hour with the bride and it's go, go, go. So for me, when I arrive with the bride, I can greet her, we can chat. She's still busy with the makeup a bit. And I just sort of enjoy that time with her. And at some point during that time, we'll get her to get dressed. And maybe some brides will get dressed earlier, some slightly later, also depending on how difficult the dress is to put on, obviously. But for me, that 2 hours with the bride is such a relaxing time for the bride, and she doesn't feel pressured, and we can have more than enough time to get her dressed, get some nice portraits, and then move off to the church. With the guys, 1 hour is more than enough, because we all know most guys, we don't like being in front of the camera, and they want to just enjoy their friends. Now, you might ask, why am I doing the guys first and then the bride? Well, I'm a single photographer. I don't have a second shooter, and I don't use second shooter. Maybe we'll talk about that in another video. But for me, I don't want to let the bride sit in her dress for 2 or 3 hours. So normally with me, the guys, they get dressed in the summer, and once I leave them, they get undressed again, and they enjoy a barbecue or a drink or whatever, and then later on get dressed again. In the meantime, I then move off to the girls. And winter, sometimes the guys actually stays dressed because it's not that warm, and it's quite comfortable. So they can do basically what they want, the guys. With the bride and the girls, obviously, it's more relaxed and more time. And I don't want the bride to wait 2 hours or an hour in a dress going down the aisle. She might reconsider, guys. Just a joke. But once the bride is in a dress, she's ready to go and she wants to walk down the aisle. Now, let's talk about driving distances and stuff. Obviously, if the place where the bride is getting ready is a half an hour drive from the church, then you'll have to work 2.5 hours back and not just the 2 hours. So you have to calculate driving time as well. Even the driving time between the groom and the bride with regards to the getting ready places. It's obviously nice if the bride and groom gets ready and get married on the same venue, and there's loads of venues like that. But sometimes this is not possible, or the bride might prefer to get dressed at her parents' place, which is sentimental to her, and that's perfectly fine. But make sure to work in that traveling time. And then after the ceremony, sometimes the ceremony is at a special church, and then you have to drive from the ceremony area to the reception area or the wedding venue. And you have to calculate that driving time as well. So in that meeting, I will educate my clients and tell them that it's better to get ready closer together because they don't want to pay me to be on the road. They want to pay me to take photographs. And the further away they are from each other, the more I have to drive, and then they actually pay me to drive rather than shooting. So then I normally would tell the couple that after sunset, when we're done with the couple shoot, they can basically go into the reception area and they can do whatever they want. If they want to cut the cake first, or do a first dance, or first eat, or speeches, or whatever, that's up to them and they can really decide on that. If they do ask me for a couple of suggestions, I would give it to them, but that's normally between them and the wedding planner. And I must tell you guys, most wedding planners like the timeline that I suggest to my couples. I must also add, guys, that sometimes with the couple shoot, I go 10 to 15 minutes past sunset, but then I add that in the timeline, and I tell the couple why I do that. So let's say the sunset is at 7, then I'd rather do the couple shoot from 6:15 until 7, because the sweet light after sunset is just amazing, and couples don't know that unless you educate them. So quick rundown, guys. I would start the guys from 1 till 2, the girls from 2 to 4, and then the ceremony for another hour from 4 till 5, then a canapé hour from 5 till 6, and then the couple shoot from 6 till 7. That is excluding driving times, so don't take that and then, oh, I forgot to put in driving time later on. But I think that will help you quite a bit with that. So let's talk about the business side of it and how this can help you book more weddings. So what you can do is in your packages, because this doesn't really cost you money. It's going to cost you maybe an hour on Skype or Zoom, or an hour on the engagement shoot. Now, let me tell you guys, this session during the engagement shoot is an awesome icebreaker. I always use it if a couple books me for an engagement shoot. So we'll go and have a coffee at a coffee shop for an hour and talk about the timeline and joke around, and I ask them what they do for a living, etc., etc. And by the time we're done with this session, they are so relaxed in front of me or in front of the camera that the shooting is just going smoothly, because by then we know each other. So using it on the day of the engagement shoot is absolutely brilliant, but then you can obviously use it via Skype or Zoom, depending, because maybe the couple is from abroad and you can't physically get together. But what you can do is in your packages, you can add like this is my price, and let's say your price is $2,000 or $5,000. You can say included in the package is an hour planning session with regards to your timeline. Or you can actually sell it. Some people sell the hour session. So as an add-on, you can say, maybe you don't put the session in your first package, but maybe in your second or third package, you can say included is this hour session, or like I wanted to say, the add-on. So you sell the add-on as a $500 or maybe $100 or $50, depending on what you feel that it's worth, and you add that to your package or as an add-on. So that's a great way for you to make extra money or to draw people towards your packages that they like it, because it might be something that you offer that other photographers don't offer, and it works like a charm. My couples love the fact that I help them with the timeline. Okay, so if you're still watching this video, it means one or two things. You're either waiting for the announcement with regards to the orange and teal pack, or you actually really enjoyed the video all the way through, which I'm glad to, and I hope you gave it a thumbs up by now, or left me a comment, left me a comment. But guys, so here is the winner of the orange and teal pack, and I want to thank each and every one of you for giving me a thumbs up on the previous video, and we actually reached the 50 thumbs ups, so that's brilliant, guys. And if you don't mind, please, again, let's see if we can get this video to 50 thumbs ups again, and maybe in a video or two time I'll do another giveaway, but for now, blissfully yours, you are the winner of my orange and teal pack, and I hope you enjoy it. I'll be in contact with you soon to give you the download link, and can't wait to see what your images will look like with this orange and teal pack. You have no idea how much easier your life will be if your client has the timeline, and they will appreciate it so much because it's going to make their life easier as well. and it will cause you to have more sweet light. Obviously, a good timeline is not going to help you on a rainy day, because it's a rainy day, but at least it will help you with a sunny day, and it will give you beautiful photos, and it will take stress off you. Oh, and by the way, if you wondered, my average wedding is a 10-hour day. In fact, none of my packages, unless the couple asks for a smaller package or a elopement package, none of my packages are less than 10 hours. So this is based on a 10-hour package. So guys, I hope you liked this video. Leave a comment down below. Click on the thumbs up button and subscribe, guys. Come on, subscribe. Please subscribe. And I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.